took real sick in school on Wednesday. And the day before that, Kamren had went to the doctor with his grandmother, and they was concerned about Kamren's weight as to what was happening. So, you know, when she told me, I was like, you know, we got to really get him some things that kind of help Kamren with this weight. That was the day before. So on Wednesday, he got to school and Kamren took sick. He was having difficulty breathing, so the school had to call the ambulance, and from there I had to meet Miss Carolyn, and we all had to rush over to Texas Children. So once they got him to Texas Children, nobody still knew what was going on. All we knew was that Kamren's body had literally put on 20 pounds of weight within a 24-hour period. So Kamren went from weighing 170 to 190 and within a 24-hour period. And nobody understood what was going on. So it was slowing down his breathing and everything. So, of course, you know, they checked kids for COVID. They thought it was COVID. We knew that it wasn't COVID. They just didn't know what was going on. So they admit Kamren. So they admit him automatically to the ICU floor in Texas Children's Hospital. So, of course, now with the kids and because of COVID, it's strict stipulations on who can be there. So Miss Carolyn had to be there. Then both of us had to be tested for COVID because she told them, you know, she's a heart patient, all these different things. She don't know if she's going to be able to take all that on her heart. So if it gets to be more than what she can bear, then I'm the next person that could go up into the hospital. So early this morning, I get a call and I have to go up there. So I get up there and I go up there. Kamren is just throwing up. Kamren is puking. I mean, just throwing up. And nothing that they seemed to be giving Kamren was working. Nothing was stopping his body from vomiting. So when I got there, Miss Carolyn panicking because they not telling her nothing. So she going through her hysterics. And so by the time that I get up there, and I'm listening, I'm able to see because Kamren is in a room, but there's a glass. You can see through the glass even as they was working. And so when I began to see it, I noticed that it got to be to the point to where Kamren started throwing up black stuff, dark black stuff. And so automatically the Holy Ghost dropped in my spirit that's bowel. And I remember years ago when it happened to me. So I began to say, oh God, he's throwing up infection. So they began to continue to work. So we just began to continue to pray because that's all you can do while they were working on him. I'm like, he was bent over the bed, like literally just puking up. So finally, when they got the vomiting to stop to where he was just heaving and nothing else could come up, they gave him some medicine so they could take him down and they could look down, did a upper and lower GI look where they had to go down and look at his stomach. So once they entered into his body, they were able to come back and explain to me and Miss Carolyn that basically Kamren was dealing with leaky bowel syndrome from the stomach injury that he received from the mom's now husband when Kamren went back to be 3 years old, when Royal had kicked Kamren years ago and kicked him across the room. And so that was around the time Kamren is opening up to the child psychologist and the child therapist. He begins to tell them that he had a dream. And so he said in his dream, Apostle Sierra was with him in his dream. And that Apostle Sierra told him in his dream to tell the truth. That don't be afraid of nobody's faces, but to tell the truth so that Kamren can get help. So that they all can get help. And they all can get healing for what has happened to them. So as I'm telling y'all, this is just as new to me, what I learned today as it was new to his grandmother. So, and I'm going to tell y'all, even when these babies first laid eyes on Apostle Sierra in all her life, she has never been in a room with them one-on-one. I'm talking about from a video, from them looking at her on live. Kamren's first words was, I'm her armor bearer. I'm her protector. Apostle need a protector. She don't need to be going out by herself like that. God, mama, I'm her armor bearer. I got Apostle. We got her. 8 years old. And so while I was telling him how much of a hero he was, and they were getting information about the little boy that still needs help, he kept telling them, this is why I can't be in here long. I got to go help my friend. I got to tell my friend that help is coming. I got to go get to my friend. And a wind, y'all, picked up. He began to tell them his angels were there. And that he knew that his apostle was there with him. And that he gonna tell the truth because he want to get help. He don't want to be a little kid with all these other problems. And the wind, y'all, a gush of wind came through. And so they asked the grandmother who was Apostle Sierra. And the grandmother said, oh, that's the godmother's a leader. And since I'm not really up under any church, I've allowed them to go up under the godmother, and I trust that apostle. You know, the kids are really, they love the apostle. And so they're just looking at her because we're trying to understand. They're trying to understand the wind. And so Kamren said, the wind, my angels are here. They're here because the apostle here. And this big smile, and all of a sudden, y'all, his tears began to dry up. And in the wind, y'all, in the wind that picked up every nurse, doctor, Miss Carolyn, everybody was able to see it. Kamren got his feather. You see this? This is the truth what came through the room when he was in Texas Children. And they looked. Kamren say, God did that, but you let Apostle know I told my truth. You let Apostle know I'm not afraid. You let Apostle know that I know she's here. Kamren, 8 years old. And when I left there today to leave him to come home, and I was like, God, I thank you because me, Charlotte, this side of Charlotte that that did not want to cooperate, this side of Charlotte that was really ready to go find them and do some real serious damage because you don't have no business hurting kids. You're a grown man. Why would you do that? Because he see what's in them.